if you wish to ask Matt Tomkins a question, use that raise your hand feature. And Matt, good to have you back. You were you're up with the taxi squad of the Chicago Blackhawks. What's that experience like working with that club, being down at MB Ice Arena and getting that repetition, especially with some of the bigger brass of the Blackhawks keeping an eye on you?
Yeah, it's good. It was a good change of pace, good experience. Yeah, like you said, just good to be around those guys, good to be around the group, coaches, get different feedback, different eyes. So yeah, it was a positive experience. I tried to take as much out of it as I could, and yeah, it went really well.
Now, for head coach Derek King, you mentioned when you came back down the other day that you're the guy this season, and he wants to get you back out there as soon as possible. Maybe the first couple games didn't go your way. What are you taking from your time with the taxi squad and then the comeback to Rockford to maybe refocus, reshift, readjust now going into a new set of contests?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like I said, it was refreshing, good kind of change of pace. And like I said, just different set of eyes, different feedback, just a different experience overall. So I tried to, work on my game as much as possible up there, come down, apply everything, get ready to go. And it'll be good to get back in some games. It's tough practicing a lot and, not having games on the schedule circled. So it'll be good to get back in the mix, get playing again. And yeah, just keep focusing on getting better and improving and doing what I can to help the team win.
Scott Leber, your line is active, sir.
Yeah, Matt, do you expect this kind of rotation between you and Delia back and forth, kind of one, for one stretch, he's going to be up with the taxi squad, you'll be here. And then for the next couple of weeks, it's going to be flip-flop the other way around. So you guys are both getting some game experience. Have you been told that's kind of what you should be expecting the rest of the way?
I haven't been told anything. You bring up a good point. That might be something that they're looking at. I know waivers would be a factor with that for Delia. So I'm not exactly sure what the thought is with that. Yeah, I'm not sure going forward what they're thinking. That's very possible. So yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see.
It was February 22nd, I think, the last time you played here. So that's been a while. How tricky will it be for you to just kind of get back into that game mode right away on Thursday? I assume you're going to be playing Thursday. How difficult will it be to get right back into that game mode?
It shouldn't be too bad. I think it'll only be as difficult as I make it mentally. It's really might sound like a big stretch, especially this season with, the condensed schedule and playing so much. But, I've gone through this experience a lot before, especially last year, had long stretches between games. So nothing I haven't seen before, nothing I'm giving too much attention. So if anything, then maybe there'll be a little bit extra nerves, a little bit of rust to knock off for the first 5 minutes or so. But I'm not expecting too much. I'm not giving it too much emphasis.
Jay Taft, your line is active, sir.
Hey, Matt, how important is this stretch coming up right now for you when you look at your career and look at where you want to be? Talk about this next stretch for you and how key it is.
Yeah, it's very important. I think it's going to be very important for us as a team as well. So I think it ties right directly with that. They had a good couple games over the weekend. I know they're going to want to keep building off that, keep rolling. But yeah, personally, it's like I said to you guys earlier, it's a great opportunity for me. It still is. Nothing's changed with that regard. Certainly, there's maybe a little bit more emphasis because there is limited amount of games this year, and just added kind of pressure, I guess, a little bit with every game. Feels like maybe 2 or 3 of a normal season. So, yeah, I'm excited more than anything. Like, it's a great opportunity to get in the mix. Kind of get some minutes, get a lot of games, maybe consecutive games. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And how tricky has it been? Not only do you have all the COVID crap going on, but you guys are so loaded up with goalies. It's such a deep room. That makes it harder for you. And it must make it a little more pressure packed in that when you get your chance, you really got to take advantage.
Yeah, I think those situations are, I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about it time to time. I've certainly learned something over my career that giving that stuff attention and thinking about those things doesn't serve you any good. So I just try and focus on myself. It certainly is something that's very much out of my control. So, yeah, like I said, I think there's only as much pressure as you want to give it yourself. So having a different mindset, a different, focus point of just worrying about yourself and letting things take care of themselves is very much the outlook that I have.
Perfect. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Brandon Kane, your line is active.
Matt, what were the similarities and differences from a taxi squad practice with Jimmy to a practice that you would get in Rockford with Pete?
A lot of similarities. Working with Pete and working with Jimmy, there's very much focus on certain parts of your game. They try and detail drills that, focus on specific areas that you want to work on. So a lot of overlap with that. Obviously had Morrison and Hakkarainen there with me as well. So a little bit familiarity with that. Those guys have done that a lot here with Pete as well. So very much felt similar in that way. So, but it was good to have a new set of eyes with Jimmy, a different outlook, different feedback, and, a different perspective on the position as well. So it was good.
Was there anything specifically that you worked on that you're like, okay, like I feel better about this now going back down?
I wouldn't say anything specific. There was nothing really glaring, in my opinion, coming in there that I wanted to work on. It's good to just kind of see the things that he thinks are important. I think there's a lot of overlap with what Pete teaches here as well, but good to kind of see his perspectives on, specific scenarios, how he likes his guys to play them. Just a lot of communication. That was the biggest thing, just talking through scenarios, talking through, how to play different situations, and just a lot of kind of goalie talk, which was good.
And then last one for me, it's been almost it has been a year since everything shut down with the pandemic. What do you remember from that time, and how have you kind of grown accustomed to the protocols and everyday life throughout this pandemic?
That's a good question. The atmosphere is certainly one of the first things that comes to mind, having fans and, having that experience of loud buildings and whatnot. So I certainly missed that. It's been an adjustment. I think that there was such a long break between that, it almost felt like two different worlds between last season and this season. So I don't, it's just the new normal for now. So it's weird when you reflect on it like that and you think of how it used to be, but just like I said, kind of the new normal for now.
Excellent. Well, Matt, I'll wrap up with this question. Just kind of curious myself. Colin was down, got 4 games in. First 2 games didn't go so well. Second 2 games did go well. Did you have a chance to watch any of that video, find anything that you might be able to relate to, and to see how he was able to progress through 2 difficult outings and turn them into 2 positive outings? And what are you taking to apply to your own game by chance?
Yeah, I had a good opportunity to chat with Colin about it. Like you said, just almost 2 totally separate scenarios with the first 2 games versus the last 2. So I was happy for him over the last weekend here to get a couple wins, get that good feeling back of, just feeling like a goalie, feeling like yourself again. And biggest thing that he took away was it from the mental side, especially between the quick turnaround of those first 2 versus the second. It was just a good opportunity for him. How I can relate to that is, maybe the break that I had, I guess we'll call it a break, but being in Chicago, just kind of that, divider in the season, can maybe look at it as an opportunity to do something similar, of have, almost 2 seasons, like separate scenarios with that. And, kind of a fresh slate here going forward, starting on Thursday.